The Coyote Twin, Vermilion's downtown theater. Providing entertainment Thursdays through Sundays.
Tonight, the celebration of Dakota Days comes to an end.
We'll have that and more coming up. Coyote News starts right now.
Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, this is Coyote News.
USD college Democrats and Republicans held their annual debate. Welcome to Coyote News. I'm Xander Hull.
And I'm Ava Sevening. We'll get to that story in a moment, but first, the University Police Department received a report of fondling that occurred on Thursday night. The incident happened outside of Olson Hall, and the offense was reported to have been perpetrated by a non-student. The individual was later identified by law enforcement. Officials believe that there is not an ongoing threat to the campus community at this time and is actively investigating the incident. This is the first reported case of fondling for this school year. In these incidents, the only person responsible for the crime is the perpetrator. The victim is never to blame. UPD urges anyone who believes they have been a victim of a crime or have witnessed a crime to have contact local law enforcement. A child has died following a vehicle-pedestrian collision that occurred in Yankton yesterday. On Tuesday morning around 8:20, a vehicle driven by a 60-year-old Yankton man collided with a 5-year-old child at the intersection of 19th and Mulberry. Yankton Police Chief Jason Foote says that the police, Yankton County Sheriff's Office, Fire Department, and County EMS responded to the accident. The South Dakota Highway Patrol is investigating the incident. The names of those involved have not been officially released, and Wince and Ray Funeral Home is handling the arrangements.
USD college Democrats and Republicans held their annual debate last Wednesday in Old Maine's Farber Hall. Seats were filled to watch both groups discuss several political stances. College Republican Griffin Peterson is happy about the audience's response to his organization.
I really just enjoy getting up there and talk about issues that are important to a lot of people. And yeah, to my fellow conservatives in the crowd, I would just hope they're feeling more vindicated in their conservative beliefs and that they keep Dakota red this November.
In comparison, the college Democrats received a more mixed reaction from the audience. Democrat Piper Connolly saw how emotions rose during the debate.
In the nature of debate, you do attack the other side a little bit. It's all in good fun though. Me and Griffin, we get along really well. There are people here who feel comfortable being able to talk about politics regardless of the party. It's what we're striving for on campus.
After finishing, all the candidates along with the audience celebrated with cookies and lemonade. The teams don't have another debate planned for this year as they are focusing their attention to the 2024 presidential election. USD's Black Student Union held Cast Your Vote, Empowerment Through Education last night. The Political Science League and Cultural Wellness Coalition shared presentations at the event about voting. Their slides included information on how to check your voter status, how to request an absentee ballot, and how to find election information. The event wrapped up with questions from the audience. If you are not registered to vote, there is still time. The deadline is next Monday, October 21st.
Dakota Days partnered with 19 Brewing Company in downtown Vermilion for Yote Float. This event allowed students to indulge in root beer floats and cow and spoon ice cream to celebrate homecoming week. The downtown business invited the first 150 students to collect a free Yote Float made with their root beer mixed with many types of ice cream. Katie Ulrich is the co-owner of 19 Brewing Company.
Started because we released Coyote Legacy Blonde Ale for Dakota Days this year, and so we were looking for ways to really promote that within the university setting because a portion of all proceeds will go back to student scholarships.
The brewery is open to people of all ages and offers homemade root beer, soda, and pizzas. 19 Brewing Company intends on continuing to host events with USD in the years to come.
Members of the community lined Main Street for the 110th edition of the Dakota Days Parade on Saturday. Floats from over 70 university clubs, organizations, and local businesses took part in the parade. The university's marching band and spirit team, as well as bands from local area high schools and community groups, also took part. Executive Committee co-presidents Libby Brust and Zena Aragon explained their excitement for the annual parade.
So I think the parade is one of our favorite events just because we see all of the Coyote community come together. We see alumni, we see community members, we see students all celebrating together and celebrating a long-standing tradition. So it's really important to us and exciting for us to be able to join the community in celebrating all of our Coyote pride.
Prominent dignitaries included President Sheila Gestring, Paralympic silver medalist Miles Kraske, and past and current Dakota Days royalty. While Dakota Days has passed us this year, planning for next year's celebration will soon commence.
This Dakota Days, Lambda Chi Alpha opened their doors and welcomed alumni, family, and friends. Since finishing construction this fall, Homecoming Week held the first opportunity to show the newly built Lambda House. Former and active members were invited to celebrate together in their new home. USD alumni Nick Bratvold is one of these members.
D-Days is the best time of year. It's a time where we all come back, we participate in this case, the brotherly love of Lambda Chi Alpha, and have an incredible time celebrating what it means to be a Coyote and be with one another and celebrate this wonderful place here in Vermillion, South Dakota.
After signing in, members joined each other for food, conversation, and an opportunity to remember their days as a Coyote. For more information on upcoming Lambda events, you can visit their social media or USD Involved page. Coming up, how one organization is celebrating their culture with the community. You're watching Coyote News.
Hey, can I talk to you about something?
Of course. Is everything okay?
No. Something really bad happened to me.
Why did you go there alone? How much were you drinking? Are you sure you weren't encouraging it? I am so sorry that happened to you. It is not your fault. It took so much courage for you to tell me that, and I'll be here for you in any way that you need.
This is Coyote News.
Over 16% of USD students are first generation. Coyote News' Jason Lopez Martinez talks about a program that can help them.
Academic preparations is one challenge for first-generation students at USD. Senior Director for TRIO, Carol Voss Ward, has noticed the first-gen students' uncertainty.
Coming to college is one of the biggest transitions. You're going to a new environment, you're surrounded by new people, you have expectations of professors, and you're making new relationships.
TRIO has many educational and mental resources to help solve these issues for students, such as counselors who help with classes and mental support. According to Lakewood University, it states that 80% of low-income first-generation students don't graduate, with about 23% not knowing how to get financial aid. Dovranbek Matugubo is a first-generation student and an international student at USD. He also faces struggles, such as paying for his tuition.
I think limited opportunities for international students, like work opportunities and loan opportunities, and to transfer money internationally from your own home country.
TRIO wants to help and increase access and support for first-gen students who may not know about it while navigating.
Yeah, we're one place that students can come and get some support and hopefully, find some things that they might not have even thought possible.
Reporting for Coyote News, I'm Jason Lopez Martinez.
TRIO holds office hours from 8 until 5 in North Complex.
A student organization gave the community the opportunity to experience and celebrate their culture with them. The Nepalese Student Association hosted their first event of the semester on Sunday. Nepalese Night featuring Dashe symbolizes good over evil. The event gave faculty and students the chance to experience how Nepalese culture celebrates Dashe with music and dancing. Sadiksha Hemiri is the president of the organization. She loves sharing the Nepalese culture at USD.
We put on tika, we get blessings from all our elders, and it's like the more tika, the more blessings.
The organization served authentic Nepalese food that the guests could enjoy during the event. The Nepalese Student Association's next event will be Festival of Colors, which will be held in the spring. Applications are open for opportunities with Asian students in America. The organization's looking for a deputy of marketing. Responsibilities for the position include promoting ASIA events, creating graphics, and running their social media. The deadline to apply is Friday. Applications are also open for Diwali performances. If you're interested in singing, playing an instrument, or dancing at Diwali, the application can be found on their social media sites. The deadline to apply is Sunday.
It's Miracle Week for Dakotathon. The week includes fundraising events for the Sanford Children's Hospital in Sioux Falls. Tomorrow from 11 to 2, there's a party in the Muck Pit featuring crumble cookies. Push hours will take place at 2 and 3 in the afternoon. And an all-you-can-eat spaghetti fundraiser and trivia will take place in the evening. On Friday, the organization will table in the muck. And to wrap up the week, there will be a wings fundraiser at Leo's from 5 until 8. A spaghetti feed's happening now at the Newman Center until 7.
The Clay County Historical Society held their annual Spoken History Tour on Monday. Coyote News' Parker Orr is live in the muck to learn more about the preparation that goes into the event. Parker?
Thanks, Xander. I'm with Joni Friedel, chairperson for the Spoken History Tour. Joni, how long has this event been going on?
We started the cemetery tour probably about 7 years ago now as a way to promote history for the Clay County area, specifically people that are buried at Bluffview Cemetery and previous Vermilionites, and to tell their stories for a variety of reasons, from perhaps politicians to, settlers from the area, and it's been a great event for us.
How do you choose gravestones for an event like this?
Randomly, no. Honestly, each year we have a theme. So the first year we did, it was a history of first, so we called it Chapter 1. So we tried to isolate people that would be maybe the first mayor or maybe the first person who built a house in Vermilion or whatever it might be. And then each year we have 5 or 6 people that we choose to highlight, and they need to be buried in the cemetery. And then what we do is we research their history, their life story, and then actually write a little biography about them, and then have a person stand by their headstone and tell their story in first person, so you can actually sort of relive their life.
What inspired the theme for this year?
This year, it was an unusual theme for a variety of reasons, but one of the things that we've talked about over the years is the symbolism of headstones, and what does what does a calla lily mean, and what does a dove, and what does an open book mean? And one of the people that we highlighted this year, a young man, 19, like a lot of the college students around here, his name was Charles Overholtz, and he actually was accidentally shot while sledding on New Year's Eve. And his headstone is a really unique one at the cemetery, and it's like a stump with a sleigh attached to it, and a cut-off tree or a stump like that signifies a life cut short. And so meanings like that, the symbolism behind different headstones across the cemetery, is how we selected this year's theme.
What programming in the near future does the Historical Society have for us?
We do a lot of things to promote history in the Clay County area. A lot of what we do is to help preserve the Austin Whittemore House, which is our home base. And so we have things like the cemetery tour. We do the tour of homes, which is coming up in December. We have ice cream socials in the spring. We have a speakers bureau where people talk about different historical events and a variety of things like that. And we have a great board that does a lot of things to preserve and also share history of the area.
Thank you so much for making it out here, Joni.
You're welcome.
Live for Coyote News, I'm Parker Orr.
Thanks, Parker. To learn more about the Historical Society, visit their website or Facebook page.
October is a time for ghost stories. So, the Vermilion Public Library is hosting a paranormal presentation for those who want to get involved. Investigators from Paranormal Variant will tell stories, demonstrate equipment that they use, and share how to get started in your own paranormal journey. The event takes place on Saturday afternoon at 1 in the Kozak Room. The presentation is free and open to the public.
The Quad States Regional Championships are being held at the Dakota Dome on Saturday. Class A bands will compete from 11 until 1. After a break, open class bands will compete starting at 1:30. USD's band will perform an exhibition at 3:45 with awards starting at 4:15. The event has a clear bag policy. Tickets can be bought online and at the box office. Next, on Coyote Sports, the football team picked up a homecoming week win.
And a Vermilion team is looking for its first state title.
I did it with my boyfriend.
I did it when I turned 18.
I did it with my teacher. I feel behind. I haven't done it yet.
You can register to vote in South Dakota by printing the voter registration form, filling out the form, sign it, and then submit it to your county auditor. Your voter registration form with an original signature must be received by the auditor 15 days before any election if you wish to vote in that election.
In a world where embracing your identity is a privilege not usually given to the members of the LGBTQIA+ community, In a world where embracing your identity is a privilege not usually given to the members of the LGBTQIA+ community,
the University of South Dakota Spectrum provides community and education for young queer scholars.
Sexuality and identity are defined on spectrums.
And having a community of open-minded, inclusive peers provides safety. Spectrum is one reason all Coyotes can call the University of South Dakota their home.
This is Coyote News.
The time of the nationally televised rivalry state game has been announced. This is Coyote Sports. I'm Jacob Pierce.
And I'm Kylie Parisian. The volleyball team picked up a win on the road. The football team faced Northern Iowa for the Dakota Days game. The Panthers struck first, scoring a touchdown on their opening drive. USD responded with a touchdown of their own. UNI took a 10-7 lead early in the second quarter before South Dakota scored 28 straight points to lead 35-10. The Coyotes kept their lead as they ended with their fifth victory on the season, defeating the Panthers 42-17. South Dakota has now won 8 straight Dakota Days games. South Dakota goes on to face the road at Youngstown State, who defeated last year with a walk-off field goal. 2 days after the victory over Northern Iowa, South Dakota football found out that they'll be on national TV in prime time. The October 26th matchup between the state rivals, USD and SDSU, is scheduled for the 6:30 kickoff on ESPNU. The 116 meeting between the two teams and also the current top 5 matchup. The Jackrabbits are on the number 1 and the Coyotes are 4th in the nation.
Coyote News' Maggie Bishop is live in the muck with Logan McNames after a near sold-out Dakota Days game. Maggie?
Thank you, Jacob. I'm here with Logan McNames, who's the Director of Tickets and Sales Operations. Logan, with the SDSU, with the D-Days game later this weekend, do you expect a sellout later this year because of the very high sellouts this year?
Yes. It'll be awesome between us doing great in football and NDSU also doing well. I expect it to be a sellout for the final game of the year.
And with enrollment being at such an all-time high right now, do you see this affecting games later in the year?
You know, we have had great student attendance, and we've actually gone over capacity for the Northern State game and this previous game for D-Days, but I expect a lot of student turnout for the last game of the year.
And how did it feel watching your prior school play USD?
It was great. I got to meet some people that were very important to my professional development, but I was happy to be on the USD side of things this year.
And how do you think your prior role will affect this role?
I think it's been very fundamental to my experience in professional development here, and has opened my eyes to create new ideas for USD in making sure that our fans are happy and season ticket holders are happy.
Well, that's great. We're happy you're here, Logan. Thank you for being here with us today. Live for Coyote News, and I'm Maggie Bishop.
Thanks, Maggie. McNames has 2 home football games left this year to get his first USD sellout. The triathlon team competed in the West Regional Championships for a spot in the National Championship. Alexa McGowan finished 11th and Kayla Ribenick finished 22nd as they led USD, finishing in the top 25. South Dakota finished 4th as a team with 529 points. The team competes in the USA Triathlon Collegiate National Championship next month for their final competition of the fall semester.
The tennis team took 3 participants to the ITA Regionals. Bia Havlikova and Amanda De Oliveira and Sorcha Caves all competed in the tournament. De Oliveira and Caves lost in the first round on the qualifying draw, while Havlikova lost the main draw in the round of 32 to the 5th seed. De Oliveira and Caves lost to the number 8 seed Oklahoma in doubles play. The tennis team is done for the fall season but returns in the spring.
Head coach Michael Thomas, fresh off his 50th win, hoped to extend his record against rival SDSU, but the match ended in a tie. The Jackrabbits came in undefeated in conference play and took the 1-0 lead in the 15th minute. South Dakota came back with a goal just 13 minutes later from Brooke Conway. Neither team could get the ball in the back of the net in the second half, ending in a draw. The soccer team's back in action tomorrow night against North Dakota and then faces North Dakota State on Sunday. The volleyball team broke a 2-game skid against North Dakota in 5 sets. South Dakota as a team recorded a season-high 16 blocks in the match against the Fighting Hawks. Kylan Seelock tied her career high with 21 kills, leading USD offensively. On the defensive side, 5 Coyotes had 12 or more digs, the most on the season. South Dakota comes home tomorrow night against Kansas City as they try to win their first home conference match.
The Vermilion Tanagers boys soccer team started at a Class A playoffs as a number 1 seed. Coyote Sports' Zach Schumacher attended their first round game.
The Tanagers started off their first playoff game with a hot start, scoring immediately in the first minute and kept a foot on the gas the rest of the half, scoring 10 goals. Second half, they added on 2 more goals before the mercy roll took place 20 minutes in the second half. I talked to head coach Kurt Nelson about what's the game plan going into these types of playoff games as a number 1 team, having that target on your backs, and how the rest of the playoffs will go out.
We keep it simple. We got to stay mentally really focused, and we got some offensive and defensive principles and hard work.
I then asked him what the game plan is coming in today was.
Yeah, we just got to execute and then just really take the game 5 minutes at a time. So, we got off to a hot start, and that helped. Got the momentum, kept it rolling.
I then asked one of the leaders on the team, number 7, Camille Scorn, what his mentality and his teammates' mentality coming into these playoffs games are.
Always try to work harder than the other team and just play our game, play it simple, and just not try to do too much.
The Tanagers cruise through the first round of the playoffs, but expect to be challenged in the coming rounds as they seek to become the first team in school history to win the title for boys soccer. From Coyote Sports, I'm Zach Schumacher.
The team followed up with 2-0 win over Belfouche in the semifinals. The Tanagers played James Valley Christian in the championship on Saturday in Yankton. The Tanagers beat the Vikings 8-1 in the regular season. That's it for Coyote Sports.
When we come back, we ask students what they would do if they had 24 hours left. Stay with us.
What does the group think?
We think a strength is their brand recognition.
This is Zoe, and you're listening to Afternoon Rap on KAOR 91.1 FM. This is my next selection.
Hey Sally, come check this out.
I like it. What if you try this?
We're out.
What did you think of your performance today?
I believe I did well. I achieved what I needed to do for the team. The team actually functioned the way we needed to. We did our 111th and we were able to make plays.
In the United
United States, approximately 6.3 million animals enter shelters every year. Of those, only 3.2 million will be adopted, and over 920,000 will be euthanized. Help put a stop to animal homelessness, save a life, and rescue your next best friend.
This is Coyote News.
In Washington's Kitsap County, sheriff deputies frequently get calls about animals, but one 911 call they received wasn't about a loose dog or cattle. The call was from a woman whose house was surrounded by dozens of raccoons. The animals caused her to flee her property after they started acting aggressively. The woman told deputies she started feeding a family of raccoons decades ago, and it was fine until about a few weeks ago when the number showing up went from a handful to around 100. While it is not against state law to feed raccoons, the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife discourages people from feeding wildlife. The woman has since stopped feeding the critters. Around Halloween time, there's one type of candy that people either love or hate.
We asked our ex-followers their thoughts on candy corn.
What do you think about candy corn?
I like it for like 2 pieces, and then after that I don't. Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Me personally, I just want to stay away from it. It's not my favorite. Let's see the results.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd side with them on this one. I'd side with them.
Follow our X page for more weekly polls. If your time on Earth was coming to a close, how would you spend it?
We ask students what they would do if they had 24 hours left to live.
Here's what they had to say.
I would go home and meet my parents right now.
I would probably rot in my bed until I slowly wither away.
Probably go see my family and my dogs and my cat.
Call my mom, make sure she knows I love her. Guess my whole family.
I'd probably sleep through it. I'll just take like a fat 24-hour nap and I'll just wait it out.
Eat a really big steak and just like eat as much as I can so then at least I die full.
Probably spend all my money, because what am I going to do with it now?
Just kind of like go where my priorities lie, and that's a lot of my family and friends. Spend a lot of time with them.
I think I'd spend a lot of it with my friends, and then probably end like the day by hiking.
I'd probably drop out of school and just take the rest of my day, hang out with some friends.
Yeah, I'd probably spend it with friends and family. I feel like that's the obvious choice you gotta go with.
I definitely agree with Jacob here.
Yeah, and eat a lot of food.
Oh yeah, get the best desserts.
True.
That's all for Coyote News.
Check out the Volant online for a look at upcoming sporting events.
Listen to 91.1 for news updates throughout the week and your coverage of your USD sports.
Don't forget to follow our social media pages for daily updates and the weekly poll. Have a great night.